Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive into what really just looks, on the surface at least, like a simple children's story. But as we unpack this today, you're going to see that Benny Bear and the Lost Golden Acorn actually offers this absolutely fascinating masterclass in emotional intelligence and community building. I just love breaking down material like this because they take these profoundly complex concepts and package them in a way that's, well, incredibly accessible. We're going to see exactly how a simple fable mirrors complex human psychology. Okay, let's dive right into this. So, what can a bear, a monkey, and a missing acorn actually teach us about restorative justice? This is what I like to call the Trojan horse concept of learning. The source material sets up this really cute animal mystery, but secretly, it delivers a surprisingly deep psychological lesson. By the time we wrap up this explainer, you'll see exactly how these woodland creatures perfectly model the kind of conflict resolution strategies that real-world leaders and communities are literally striving to implement every single day.
Section 1. The Missing Golden Acorn. Right, so every great narrative needs a catalyst, right? A spark. And our story kicks off with a sudden crisis that just shatters the peace of the forest. The stakes are established incredibly fast. You've got the animals peacefully gathered around the great oak tree on a sunny morning. But then Oliver the wise owl, who kind of serves as the voice of authority in this community, delivers this devastating news. He says, the golden acorn is missing. Without it, our harvest festival cannot begin. Now, this isn't just a misplaced item. It's the foundational piece of their community's tradition. The text explicitly tells us that all the animals gasped. It's a collective panic. The social order has been totally disrupted, and the most anticipated event of the year is on the verge of total collapse.
Section 2. A diverse rescue coalition. Now, how a community responds to a crisis tells you pretty much everything you need to know about its underlying values. And the absolutely crucial point here is how Benny the Bear reacts. The minute the panic sets in, Benny steps right up and says, "Don't worry, I'll help find it." But, and this is key, Benny doesn't act alone like some solitary hero. He intentionally builds a rescue squad. He brings in his best friends, Leo the lion, Daisy the dog, Molly the cat, and Charlie the monkey. This brilliantly illustrates a highly collaborative leadership style. Benny just intuitively understands that a community problem requires a community response. By bringing in this diverse group of friends, he's assembling completely different perspectives and skill sets to tackle the problem together. So, the squad hits the trail, tracking physical clues through the forest, which really builds immense tension. First, they spot these golden sparkles down near the bright flowing river. Then, using his unique abilities, Charlie the monkey swings way up into the canopy to get a better vantage point, and he spots even more sparkles. Finally, this sparkling trail leads them completely away from the safety of the sunny forest and straight up to a dark cave. Visually and narratively, we are moving straight from light and safety into shadows and the unknown. The pacing here perfectly mirrors that rising anxiety of confronting a thief. Section 3. The Psychology of the Thief. Okay, here is where the source material completely shifts gears from your classic heist mystery into a much, much deeper exploration of behavioral psychology. The rescue squad creeps into the dark cave, completely expecting the worst. But they didn't find a monster. Instead, they discover a frightened little squirrel named Sammy. This is a massive emotional twist. The menacing thief who ruined the festival and plunged the whole community into chaos, he's actually just a scared, vulnerable individual hiding in the dark. The narrative brilliantly subverts our expectations here, forcing us to look much closer at the actual person behind the transgression. Sammy's apology is honestly just heartbreaking. He says, "I'm sorry, I took the golden acorn. I wanted everyone to notice me because I felt lonely." I mean, what a powerful moment. Sammy explicitly states his motivation, and it's not greed, it's not malice, it's isolation. Sammy's confession perfectly mirrors human nature. Think about it for a second. We as humans often act out negatively or break social rules when we feel unseen, isolated, or just desperate for some kind of connection. The stolen golden acorn was literally just a symptom. Sammy's profound loneliness was the actual disease. Section 4. The Power of Empathy. So now that the community has found the thief and heard his reason, how are they going to choose to respond? Usually, when someone steals a vital community treasure, the expected reaction is anger, right? Punishment, or even exile from the group just to protect everyone else. But Benny's reaction is completely radical. Benny just smiles kindly, no yelling. Instead, he looks at Sammy and says, "You don't need to steal something to make friends. We already care about you." Wow. Benny chooses kindness, forgiveness, and immediate inclusion.
He literally bypasses the crime entirely to speak directly to the squirrel's emotional deficit. And this right here, this perfectly illustrates restorative justice. Restorative justice is all about repairing harm by addressing the root causes of bad behavior, like loneliness, through community inclusion rather than just handing down a punishment. By assuring Sammy that he's cared for, Benny neutralizes the very loneliness that caused the theft in the first place. It's such an efficient, profound way of dealing with conflict. Instead of just treating the symptom, taking the acorn back and locking Sammy away, the community cures the disease by making Sammy a friend. It's a real game changer.
Section 5. The True Festival Treasure. So let's look at the incredible fallout of this approach and how this radical empathy impacts the broader forest community. Feeling ashamed but finally seen, Sammy willingly hands back the golden acorn. The animals forgive him on the spot and instantly invite him to join the harvest festival. So the community didn't just get their acorn back, they actually gained a brand new member. And because they rehabilitated the thief rather than exiling him, the whole community becomes infinitely stronger. The text describes the forest just glowing with colorful lights, everyone dancing and laughing, sharing all this delicious food. Sammy is happier than ever because he finally has real friends. By embracing inclusion, the Harvest Festival actually becomes the absolute best celebration in the history of the forest. The whole shebang is better because he's there. Then we get this beautiful wrap-up where Oliver the Owl announces a powerful moral to the group. He says, "Today we learned that kindness and friendship are more valuable than any treasure." It's such a simple sentence, but man, the real-world application is absolutely massive. The acorn was always just a symbol of their community. The actual community was the bonds they shared with one another. Oliver recognizes that Benny's choice, prioritizing a lonely squirrel's well-being over strict punishment, is the highest form of wisdom. So, as we wrap up this explainer today, I want to turn the mirror directly onto you. Next time someone wrongs you, are you going to seek punishment? Or will you look for the lonely squirrel in the cave? It's totally human nature to want retribution when we're hurt or when our own golden acorns are taken. But as Benny Bear showed us, true leadership and lasting peace, they come from having the emotional intelligence to look past the transgression and address the deeper human needs hiding in the dark. It's a tough lesson for sure, but one that can absolutely transform our communities. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this text today. Keep learning, keep looking deeper, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.